Hello everyone, and welcome to the Influencer Lab Masterclass. I thought this would be a very fun name because I feel like we are gonna get into the lab and I'm gonna peel back the curtain and I'm gonna show you what it looks like to be an influencer in this space and to be able to develop multiple streams of income. So I see people are popping on right now. Hello and welcome, so happy to have you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kimberly Olson. I'm also known as the Gold Digger Girl. That is my brand. And I am going to share with you my story a little bit, how I built on social media organically, and how you can do the same thing as well. And I love doing this this masterclass, because I feel like people think that having multiple streams of income isn't for them. It's too far removed. They're not good enough, or their idea isn't good enough, or they don't know how to make it happen. And I'm passionate about this because I think it's smart. I don't think you should have your eggs in one basket. I've seen too many people do that. And I think it's better. Like if you have a job and you've ever been let go, like I have, then you know what it feels like to have your money taken from you without any notice. And it's the scariest, worst feeling ever. But if you have multiple streams of income and one of those income stops, you still have others to get you through while you pivot. Okay. So to welcome you on, go ahead and put in the chat where you are coming in from. I'd also love, you don't have to say what they are, but I would love to know what streams of income you have right now. Is it a job? Do you do tutoring? Do you do network marketing? What are the different, how many streams of income do you have right now? So just put that in that chat. I would love to see what y'all got going on over there, and welcome. So if you don't know my story, I'll tell you guys, I've never actually shared this before. It won't be too long, but you guys get the inside scoop. So I started as an entrepreneur, well, when I was really young. I started babysitting when I was 12. I had like a bracelet business when I was 11. So I was a very young entrepreneur. I had my own business when I was early 20s. I ran my own office for vector marketing. So Cutco cutlery knives, if you know what those are. I was a district sales rep. So I was promoted to go out to Pennsylvania and start a new territory. There hadn't been anybody there. I had to find and lease my office space. I had to build out the space all in my own dollar. It wasn't like the company funded it. They just, basically you had the protection of them and some systems and support from them. I had to negotiate an office lease, build it out. I had to hire a whole entire receptionist staff, administrative assistants. I had two assistants as well that I knew, but I had recruited them to come work for me. All commission, you guys. No salary, all commission. And I had to place ads. I had to go do on-campus events. I did interviews every single day, multiple times a day. Every week I did an 18-hour training, and you did the same trainings every week because you were constantly recruiting, and it was college students. So I did that for 7 years. I did really well with it. And then I went into health and wellness, as you guys know, became a nutritionist, and I worked in the health and wellness space, mostly health clubs, until I started doing this 2 years ago. So I quit my job last summer. And so when I did that, again, kind of commission only situations. And when in 2011, I decided, it was on my birthday, my 31st birthday, I launched FitKim, FITKIM. You can Google it. And it's a blog. It has recipes, workout videos. My YouTube channel has over 1 million views on it. It's called FitKim. And I went on TV everywhere. I've been on TV hundreds of times. I spoke all across North America. Companies would pay for me to go places. So I was a brand influencer for a company called Genesis Today. They would pay for me to go to, I went to Salt Lake City and did an influencer interview. They hair, makeup, hotel stay, meals, all of that was paid for. I did affiliate marketing. I was making hundreds of dollars per month just from YouTube, where people would click an ad on my video and I would get a paycheck. Affiliate marketing for Amazon, people would buy weight loss products. I was promoting Coffee Bean, and I would get checks from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I did that for quite some time. And when we moved to Austin in 2012, I tried to do it full time, just personal training, nutrition consulting, and I couldn't make enough to make it a go. So I went back into the corporate world until I quit a year ago. And during that time, because I was doing some stuff on the side, and some things worked, some things didn't work. But through this process, I have learned that, oh, cool. Thanks for sharing, Dawn. I appreciate that. I've sold real estate. I've done like all of it, you guys. I never did dog sitting, but I sold real estate for 6 months because I wanted to learn how to flip houses. And when I went through, they're like, oh, well, you need to get your license to do that. So I went, got my license. It took, 4 weeks or whatever. And they're like, oh, you need a brokerage has to hold your license. I'm like, okay. So I went and started working for a brokerage. And then 6 months later, selling houses. I'm like, WTF, right? Like, what am I doing here? This isn't what I wanted. But I have experience doing real estate. I mean, I feel like I've been all over the block. And if you feel like, gosh, I've tried so many different, I've worked at different jobs, and am I hopping around companies? You know what? I got to tell you, life really is a playground. And when you start to be okay taking risks and is when you will find your place. Like, I love what I do. The fact that it's in the middle of the day and I'm doing a class with you to help you open your mind and see what's possible, because I am going to share my 14, I counted last night, was actually 15 streams of income. I'm going to share them with you really quick to give you some ideas to get started. I love the fact that one of you will leave this masterclass feeling inspired to go for it. And that I'm going to get a message from you at some point. You're going to say, I went for it. Oh my word, this is what happens. Like, this is so exciting. And I'm so happy. I love that, but I wouldn't have gotten here without taking those risks. I wouldn't have gotten here without trying some different things. So if you're a serial entrepreneur and you're trying and things have failed, you got to just get up and try again. Okay. I registered for Brennan Burchard's program, spent thousands of dollars, put it on a credit card a few years ago. I did Marie Forleo's B School, thousands of dollars, put it on a credit card. And I wasn't making any money. I was paying hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for Infusionsoft, Kajabi, all these things they said you needed. Wasn't making any money. I created products and programs that no one bought. I spent hours upon hours upon hours recording audio programs, recording videos. No one bought anything. And I thought I was a failure. I quit. I just threw in the towel. I'm like, I'm done with FitCam. I'm not doing anything with it. And I went back to corporate America. And there was this little nudge, and my friend kept asking me about her network marketing company. And in my mind, it wasn't a business. I was like, that's not my thing. I would just be a sales rep, but I needed the money. My back was against the wall, and she kept asking me. She's like a freaking bulldog. So finally I was like, okay, I will do it. I'll do what you say for a month. If I make my kit money back, I'm in. If not, I'm out. So I did what she said. I tripled my initial investment. I was hitting all these rank advancements and bonuses. And I was like, I'm doing this from my phone. Like, this is crazy. And I was working full time. Addison and 2.5 at the time. They were so little. And I don't even know how I made it all happen. And 6 months later, I ran out of my warm market. And so someone tagged me on a video about how to build on social media, but she was also really into branding. And so I got into her coaching. I started building up my following 2 years ago exactly. So depending on when you're watching this replay, the fall of 2017, if you watch my videos in November, is when I started becoming really consistent. I started doing video every week, and I opened my first Facebook group. It was called All In with Kim. And I did not know I was going to be serving entrepreneurs. I knew health and wellness, and I was starting to learn social media. So I said, hey, if people want to lose weight, you've got goals for 2018, I'm going to open a group, and I'm just going to be in there holding you accountable, cheering you on if you want to get in the group. So 100 people jumped in, and I was off and running. And then people were like, well, we don't know how to set goals. Will you teach us how to set goals? We don't know how to do a vision board. Will you teach us how to do a vision board? I'm like, sure. Well, when I put the content together, it was like 90 minutes worth of content. Like, it was a full on thing. And I was like, it's going to be a Saturday morning. I'm going to have Scott take the kids out of the house. I'm going to charge for this. Like, this is my time. It's a skill set. I'm going to charge for this. I charged $9. $9. 30 people showed up. And I remember I was like, got the money from Eventbrite, and I told Scott, I go, I just spent like an hour, a little over an hour with these people, sharing with them something I love and I can talk about all day long, vision boards. They loved it, and I just got money. And he's like, well, good job, honey. Like, I think he thought, like, why is this chick so excited? 2 weeks later, they were like, can you teach us how to like set goals for business? And some of you have been with me from the start. They're like, can you teach us how to set goals like for the whole year? We don't know how to put a business plan together. And my undergrad's business management and marketing. So I was like, I can do that. So I did a business planning workshop. The next month, they're like, Facebook Lives, like, Kimberly, you're getting so many views on your Facebook Lives. Will you teach us how to do that? So what I did is I listened. Okay, so if you're taking notes and you're like, I don't know where to start, listen to your audience. Ask your friends, when they think of you, what do they think of? There are clues with all of the work experience you have in your life, whether it's real estate, dog sitting, or raising children. There are clues that you have to take and translate over into a skill set that you can monetize. And I'm going to give you 15 ideas today there are clues. Okay. I had no training in any of that stuff. It was just stuff that I loved. So then I did that Facebook Live and I did a recruiting workshop on recruiting. My roots are definitely network marketing. And now I've expanded into all kinds of stuff. But then they were like, we want you to be our upline. Will you just like, we want to learn it all really hardcore. And I was like, I could do like a 6-week boot camp with you. You know, we could charge a few $100s and every week I could come in and teach you a different piece of what I've done to grow my following. And they're like, yes. And that's how it all happened. It's just so interesting when you look back. So since then, I built my following to almost 150,000. I just passed the $500,000 mark with revenue generated since I launched my brand less than 2 years ago. It's really crazy for someone who was making, you know, $35,000 a year 10 years ago. It's really weird to say those numbers out loud, but I don't say it to impress you. I say it to impress upon you that right now, if you're sitting here and you're not making any money from your business, you just haven't found your thing yet. You haven't figured out what the market needs, because there is a hole there and it has not all been done because it hasn't been done by you. So you have to figure out what's your unique thing you can offer and who's your audience. That's it. That's all I did really fast is I figured out what people wanted and I figured out I could teach that. I'm like, I can teach that in my sleep. And then I just monetized it. I just charged for it and people were happy to pay for it. You guys have paid for stuff. It's not like I'm like convincing you, right? Like you want it. Okay. So what I want you to do is when I go through stuff, I want things that resonate with you where you're like, oh yeah, I want to do that. That's something I would like to do, not tomorrow, because I did these one by one. I want you just to make little notes for yourself of the things that kind of pull at you where you're like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I would love to do that. Okay. So a note though, build one at a time. So don't try to do all of these at once. Don't try to even get 2 going at one time. Build one at a time. I just go all in when I figure out that one thing. Like right now I'm mastering YouTube and that's all I'm focused on right now. And then I'm launching this huge program in January. That's all I am focusing on and that's it. I'm not focusing on any of these things right now. Okay. So number one thing I monetized was obviously network marketing. Main thing I'd say there, because I have switched companies over, you know, since I've been in network marketing, is find the right fit for you. So make sure you love the product. Make sure it's residual. It's something people are ordering every month. Make sure it's a good comp plan and that the leadership is there. So look up and say, do I want to build the way that these people have built? And are they teaching me how to get there? Just make sure you have a strong leadership. And if you've been with the company for so long and you're just like, it just doesn't feel right, it's a question that. Like, I'm not encouraging you to hop companies, but I do want to give you the hall pass that if you do need to look outside of what you've got going on, it's okay. Like I said, I'm totally fine with, I didn't figure out my career that first time. I'm not someone who's going to be at a job for 20 years. Like, that's just not who I am. Number 2, coaching. Coaching will happen as you posture up and build your influence. So if you create systems that you can teach other people, mention that, you know, it's very lucrative. You can make a ton of money coaching. If you haven't had success yet, I wouldn't coach. There's too many people coaching, and I'm going to be talking more about this because coaching gets a bad name because people will hire a coach, and I hired a coach and I fired her a month later one time because I was like, you are not teaching me anything. Like, you're a fake coach. So there is some fake coaching out there. And I actually am launching this coming year. If you're like, I would love to be a coach, I'm actually going to allow you to mentor under me and you can become a certified coach under me, because I'm a really good coach. And I say that with passion because I feel like it's changed my life to have coaches in my life. And I've seen what I've been able to do in other people's lives. So if you want to do coaching, make sure you're mentoring under somebody who knows what they're doing. But what you're going to notice is if you have certain skill sets, like let's say you're very organized and you have systems in place, you could turn around and teach other entrepreneurs how to put systems in place. If you think about it, my friend, she's a professional organizer. So she goes into people's homes and she digs through all this. Sometimes it's digital stuff and sometimes it's, you know, in their home, and room by room, you know, she'll go through things, but she's coaching them through that process. She's helping them to develop systems that they can keep doing after she leaves the house. So that's a specific coach. So you can kind of figure out what your niche is, right? I mean, a tutor is a coach. There's different ways that you can coach, but it's very lucrative. Just make sure if you do it, you know what you're doing, you've gotten proper guidance, and you're charging enough, because you don't want to devalue the market as well. Okay. Coaching is and it's your time. It's one-on-one. I'm going to be pretty much phasing away from one-on-one coaching this next year because I just don't have time in my schedule to do it. Number 3 are workshops. Notice what content gets the most interest. what are the, like I shared my story, I noticed that people didn't know how to do vision boards or set goals or dream or any of that stuff. Maybe you are, like I had a girl who, some of you may have been in her workshop, but when she's coached with me and I was like, you should teach a workshop on the Cricut. Like seriously, people could make gifts for their customers. They could, instead of going on Etsy and dropping a bunch of money on Etsy, sorry if you have a business on Etsy, but you could do it yourself, right? All your rank advancement gifts, if you have a team, like you could make that stuff on the Cricut. I have a Cricut. So I've done team t-shirts, like, for football games and stuff like that for the girls, because they don't really make stuff in their size. And so you could do a workshop on that, because I would pay money for you to show me how to do this. I've gone on YouTube and I've tried watching videos and it's confusing. I don't know what to look for. I don't have time to go search around on YouTube all day. So I'll pay for your workshop. And she did a workshop, and she had a bunch of people who paid for the workshop. So it doesn't even have to be anything business related. It was a freaking Cricut workshop. You can have workshops on anything. Okay. So just figure out what are the different things that people are wanting in your area. What are you noticing? Where's something that you went and figured out and spent a lot of time on? Like maybe it's websites. Maybe you've learned how to use Wix or whatever it's called. And you're like, I could do a workshop on that. And I could show people how to build their own website because I figured it out. I could turn around and monetize that and teach other people as well. Okay. That's why building an audience is huge, because when I had my FitCam stuff, I didn't have an audience. I had an email list, but it wasn't very big. And I wasn't serving the email list properly, but I didn't have an audience. I didn't have a following. I didn't have Facebook groups. So you got to make sure you've got an audience that wants what you have. So just make sure that that's a big piece of what you're doing. Number 4 is boot camps / small group coaching. This is where it's live coaching. So boot camps and small group coaching is live. That's where you are actively in the groups every week. You are giving them new content that they're working through every week. You're side by side alongside them. So it's not something they purchase from you and then you're not there. That's a different category. This is where it's the boot camp small group coaching concept. Okay. So this is where you're going to string together multiple topics. So I'll give you an example of one of the first boot camps I did. I did an Instagram workshop, and I noticed while I was going through the content that it wasn't enough. There was so much more I wanted to cover because it was just a 75-minute workshop. There was so much more to cover. And people are asking all these questions in the chat that I was like, okay, there is clearly more to this story here. So I told them at the end, I said, I don't have it figured out, but obviously you guys need more. So I will put together a 4-week boot camp for you on Instagram, and we'll go through all of it. We'll step by step. I'll share screen, we'll dissect, all the things. And I've run it several times. Now it's a course, but I've run it several times and filled the boot camp up every time, because I noticed it was a string of topics that I could put together to make it into a robust program. So I've done 4-week, 6-week, 8-week, and 12-week. I'm actually launching a 6-month more intensive for higher level people who are ready to really crush it. That one's 6 months. So, and I've seen year, you can do a year as well. Number 5 is monthly membership groups. So this would be, I have my mastermind, for example. Some of you are in the Goal Digger Mastermind. This is where there's a focal point for the month. The concept is accountability, building blocks. So every month there's a different focal point. Like this month we're doing organization, systems, duplication, automation in your business. Last month was recruiting. The whole month, all the topics were around recruiting, okay, or building up your book of business. 1 month was all Instagram. So there's a specific topic we're focusing on. And every week I do a Zoom on Mondays. There's a book of the month club in there. There's weekly check-ins. There's always a challenge every month typically. So it's a way for everybody to plug in and get access to me on like a virtual upline, but it's a pretty big group. There's a couple hundred. It's not ever like one-on-one with people. It's me delivering material to the group. You can also do, so this is where ongoing, people are paying every month for the content. I'm trying to think of other ones I've been in. Oh, I've seen some where you pay monthly and you get access to like Hot Stock. I'm a affiliate for them actually, but I pay monthly. I think I pay yearly, but same concept. You pay monthly and you get access to new graphics every month. So if you're sitting here, we'll go back to the Cricut example. Let's say you do your workshop with a Cricut and you're like, these people love this stuff. Like they want my designs, they want my templates, they want ideas. So you could start, you know, it could be $7 a month or whatever, and people get new Cricut templates from you. They get new designs from you already done. I don't know how to do all that, but you get them the designs. They can ask questions, they can get help from you, and they're getting stuck with using their Cricut. I mean, you guys, if you haven't used a Cricut, it's a whole thing. Like there's vinyl, there's iron-on. I mean, there's all these things. Yeah, there's been many hours spent on the Cricut in my office. And so I would pay for that. Like, I don't want to go around thinking of ideas for gifts for people. I would pay to be in a Cricut group. So there's a way to take something that was a one-off and turn it into ongoing. Think of things that people will constantly want content for. So maybe it's social media posts, right? Or maybe it's weight loss recipes. So every month you've got a new meal plan that people get and they pay to have access to the meal plan. Maybe it's new workouts. Like there's so many different things you can do, seriously. Number 6 is books, writing a book, obviously. I have a book writing workshop. So if you want to write a book, I would recommend you go through the workshop because I'll show you step by step how to do the outline, all that. This is what I will say about that. I've self-published, I've had companies publish. I'm actually working with a company now that approached me. They figure out topics in the market that a book needs to be written for because they have some software algorithm stuff that can detect what trends are. And then they find people like me to write the book for them. Who knows? I have a call with them next week, but that's working with a firm. So there's different ways you can go about it. There's some hybrid options, but I self-published both of these books. I have another one called The Fit Kim Lifestyle, and that one was picked up by a publisher, Tate Publishing. I did not like having it picked up by a publisher because they kind of promise they're going to do all this stuff for marketing, but you really have to be driving the ship. Like you have to build the audience and have the platform to promote it. So I self-published both of these. It cost me a little bit for the ISBN numbers, and then it was $50 to have it copyrighted. So I sent that into the US copyright. That's all. It was like $50. So that's been a really, really neat experience. It's something I really enjoy doing. So if you have that book idea, one, it's going to help people because the topic you're passionate about, you want to get it in their hands, right? But also you want to be thinking about what it's going to do for your influence and your credibility. So the Influencer Lab is about what are different things you can put out in the market, sometimes free, sometimes monetized, that are going to serve people, help people, add value, and build up your credibility along the way. So if you watch me and notice, you probably feel like every time you turn around, there's a new video that I've done. And it is because there is a new video I've done every time you turn around. Those are all free. I offer so much free content. This masterclass is free. Okay. I could have charged for this masterclass. So you want to make sure you are really doing an amazing job of serving your audience with free content. I believe in email marketing. I think it's so important. Are you doing video marketing? Do you have a strategic marketing plan? So if you're a network marketer, I know a lot of you are my audience, and you're like, I really want to get into course creation, or I want to learn how to scale and add multiple streams of income, and I want to grow my personal brand. We've got to figure out your strategy. Like, what's your plan? You can't just, in my opinion, you can't just be like, well, hopefully I'll figure something out. Like, you need to have a strategic plan. Otherwise the market won't respond. You'll launch something and it'll flop, which is okay, because I have launched plenty of things that have flopped. But if you're feeling frustrated, it could just be because your audience isn't clear on what you offer. So if your audience isn't clear on what you offer, they can't interact, they can't engage, they can't respond, and they're not going to grow. The only way you're going to grow is if you have a strategic plan. So make sure you're balancing this free content with the paid. So the model is value, 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 offer. So you want to balance out free content with paid. So offer 3-to-1 ratio. 3 times it should be value driven, and 1 time it should be paid. Okay. So anyways, books. Write that book. Okay. Number 7 is speaking. So this will help when you do Facebook Lives and you have visibility with that. Make connections with people. I'm a master connector. When I read Rob Sperry's book, The Game of Networking, this is when it really finally clicked. It's not like, when people think of network marketing, I feel like there's this stigma around it, like you're going around bothering people. That never worked for me, and it feels icky. It's just not how I roll. But what does work for me is connecting with people to see what common interests we have. How can we collaborate? How can we help each other? So by connecting with top leaders, and then they start seeing my stuff, they will ask me, and some of you probably have, hey, could you come do a guest training in my group? because they know their people are going to listen to me because I'm not on their team, right? And they can see I have the authority, the credibility, the influence. So they're like, oh, she must know what she's talking about, right? So I've done paid private trainings, like 90-minute Zooms for teams. I speak locally here at a couple places where I'm paid, $400 for 45 minutes or whatever. The prices go up as you obviously grow your influence and speak on stages. But do it for free to start, get that experience. You can build up get a media reel where it's just like a little sizzler, who you are, and you can share that with people in your network. Look in your own community for different opportunities, but start for free and start getting your feet wet. But people will pay you to speak. So when people ask you to come speak in an event, ask them, say, is this something you want me to do complimentary, or do you have a fee in mind for that? Don't assume it's going to be for free. That's one thing I've learned for sure. So if you love speaking, do video marketing as much as possible, because you'll develop your skill sets. You'll develop the ability to interact with people when they comment, and you'll also develop your confidence and your posture and your ability to think on your feet as well, which is really important. Okay, number 8 is podcast sponsorship. So I'm going to do, if you want to, I don't know if I have the link for it. Let me see. Actually, what I'll do is I'll email out the replay. So if you registered for this and you're watching this, then just look in. Let's make a note. My podcast, I've had since I started, I think I launched it April or May of last year. I'm just here to tell you, you can do a podcast. Mostly I wanted to share with you to give you permission to just go for these things. Now, don't start group coaching and don't start your membership site and workshops and podcasts all at once and write the book. One at a time, okay? But what's amazing about a podcast is I've made over 5 figures from my podcast. You get sponsorships through the podcast, but that's not, for me, that hasn't been the big money. It's been people finding me on the podcast, reaching out and wanting coaching or getting plugged into my offerings. So, and it also does help with your influence as well when you have a podcast. But if you're going to do it, you have to be consistent, okay? So I have a podcast workshop, do-it-yourself podcast to profits workshop. Look in the email replay. You will see the link for that in there, or just message me if you need the link. I'm not going to put it in this live webinar right now, but I have it next week. If you purchase it, you'll have access for life. If you're in Gold Digger University, which is an ongoing membership program I have, every single workshop, every single masterclass like this, every single webinar, every single bonus training I've ever done is inside of there, and you have access to all of it for a small price you pay every month, a monthly membership fee. This will be dropped in there, and the podcast to profits will be dropped in there as well. So don't pay for that. Anyways, podcast sponsoring, you get sponsorships, people will find you that way. It's such a great way to reach people. And think about it, a lot of people that works for them. They listen to podcasts while they're in the car or they're cleaning their house. It's just easy for people. I listen to podcasts all the time. So it's a way to serve people that maybe won't catch a Facebook Live. Number 9 is physical products. So I've done printables where people can purchase, things, physical products. So they print them off. There's a binder where they can put their calendar, they can put their daily schedule, their weekly schedule, their monthly schedule, their events in there. They can print off their recruiting sheets. There's social media, check off, okay, did I post on Facebook, Instagram? Did I do my reach outs? Did I do my friend requests? I have printables. So physical products, let's say you want to use that Cricut and you want to make coffee cups. Like this is actually part of my swag shop, but you could do this at home with Cricut. So let's say you want to sell physical products. You could make water bottles or whatever. That would be a physical product. So something where people are going to tangibly have something. Okay. Whenever you're doing any of these things, my advice is to try to find a way to do it as low cost as possible. Because when you go online, you're going to see all these things that you can purchase and put all this money into. I try to get people in the green and profitable as soon as possible. So I think maybe that's why I grew so fast too, is because I wasn't broke. I was able to invest money back in because I was making money, and then I would invest it back in. I never was like putting stuff on credit cards. My whole business has been on my debit card this whole time. Number 10 is evergreen. So evergreen is where you create something and people can go and buy it whenever they want. So I use Teachable. On Teachable, I have lots of different courses on there. So I have a Crushing It on Instagram course. I have a LinkedIn mini course on there. So at any time, people can go on there and buy it. They can log in and access the content. It's recorded. So evergreen is content you produce once, and then it's forever evergreen. It's forever available. When I was doing those live boot camps, they were just in May, I'm starting a boot camp, jump in. September, I have a boot camp, jump in. People couldn't get in whenever they wanted to. It was me teaching live. That's totally different than an evergreen product. So the benefits of evergreen product is the value you get out of it. You spend the time to record or create that thing one time, and then people can purchase it over and over again. Every single day I get a notification that people have bought. Someone has bought something of mine that I created months and months ago, sometimes, a year ago, which blows my mind, right? Talk about leveraging your time. It is so smart. Evergreen content is a really good idea if you don't have a lot of time, where you're like, I don't think I can live teach very much because with my schedule or whatever. But also if you want to get it, if you want to do it, you'll make it happen as well. So if you want to learn how to create a course or build something where you can build it and sell it and monetize it. So what does that look like? Is it a course? Is it a small group coaching? Is it a membership site? Stay till the end, because I'm going to go over a 30-day challenge. I think some of you know about it. 30-day challenge coming up, and we're gonna press play. We're gonna get it mapped out. We're gonna have you create it, record it, do whatever, and it's gonna be done in 30 days. We're not playing here. Okay, number 11 is going to be retreats and conferences. So I have gone and done retreats and conferences. So I've done one-day conferences where people pay me to come and do a half days and 1 days. That's about all I could convince Scott to be okay with at this point, because it's the weekends usually. And yeah, so, and that's all I want to do at this point, the bandwidth that I have. But I've had leaders of teams hire me to come and pour into their teams for a day. So I'll go in and teach them everything from attraction marketing, building relationships with people, not spamming, Facebook groups, all that stuff. So highly lucrative as well. Now, if you're going to do a conference or something, those are extremely expensive. So I would micro test it and maybe do something on a smaller scale and see if you can get a turnout for it, because you can lose money on those, on the conferences and stuff, because the space to rent, and you have to, if it's at a hotel, you have to guarantee a book of rooms usually. Like it's in the 6-figure mark typically to do something like that. So if you could try to do something on a smaller scale and test that out. 12 is affiliate marketing. Put a star by this one. You can all start affiliate marketing today. So Amazon has an Amazon influencer program now. You do have to turn in your social media numbers, so they may or may not approve you. They used to have something called Amazon Central, I think. Actually, they might still have that. Let me look it up for you. Because if they do, you all could do that right now. I'm pretty sure they actually still have it. Amazon Central Seller. No, Amazon Seller Central. Okay, look that up. Amazon Seller Central. By the way, if this is helping you, can you put something in the chat? Let me know this is helping you. You like these ideas. You're inspired that, wow, there's all these different things. I'm so excited that one of these things will be my next thing. So Amazon Seller Central, how that works is, oh, here's an example. So I did a video that will be going up on my YouTube next week on my office essentials. So I did it and I showed all the things in my office that I have to make the Goal Digger Empire run. And I talked about the selfie stick, and I love it because I can walk with it. It does portrait or landscape. It has a tripod. So I actually used it for a 3-way call today. I had it while I was in the bathroom getting ready. I knew the girls, so they didn't care, but I did a 3-way call in the bathroom while I was getting ready. That's how I have to maximize my time because I have no time. Anyways, I have the link for this in the YouTube video, and I have a guide that people can download. When they click the Amazon link to grab this, because they don't want to go around searching, they just want to click the link and move on. When they do that, I get a commission on that. And I get a commission off of everything that they buy in their cart when they make that purchase. So Amazon Seller Central, affiliate marketing. But what you want to do is every service you use. So let's say someone's like, what email marketing service do you use? Because, that's where my brain goes, because that's my jam. But let's just say someone's like, what email service do you use? You're like, oh, I use GetResponse. Oh, cool. What is that? Can I get a link? Or they're like, I think I'll check that out and say, oh, let me get you my affiliate link. every company I pay, like on an ongoing basis, I ask them if they have an affiliate program. So some of them don't advertise it, but they do. I have affiliate links for Hot Dog, Get Response, HostGator. I have OneStream Live. Also, Rhonda Madrid Designs. I've been an influencer for her since she started. And so if you go to Rhonda Madrid, it's RHONDA. I'm almost always wearing her earrings, Rhonda Madrid Designs. If you use Gold Digger, you get 10, it's GOAL, but I'm an affiliate for her. Sometimes you'll get product credits from people and sometimes you'll get straight commissions. It's really popular on Instagram as well. You shouldn't have to spend any money to be an affiliate. That's a red flag. I've had a couple people reach out to me about that. Affiliate marketing is so smart though. I'm serious. Or I have an affiliate program where with some of my influencer friends, if they promote my stuff, a course that I have, and ask me, just private message me if you're like, I have an audience who would buy your stuff, Kimberly, I'll give you 50% commissions. So if you promote my Instagram course to your audience and they buy it, you get 50% commissions. It's pretty awesome. So other course creators have stuff like that too, typically. 13 is apparel. So I've released a swag line, the Gold Digger swag line. I've got Elephant Sister stuff in there, Gold Digger, Crocheting It, all kinds of stuff. I used Printful, and then they drop ship, and I use Shopify as you have to have something that it talks to. So Shopify is basically the storefront, and Christy Deli does all my logo design. So she did all the Gold Digger. She uses my fonts and stuff. So she designs that for t-shirts, hats, all the stuff. People buy it. I did it more just because I wanted people, thanks Dawn, I appreciate the feedback. I wanted people to be able to grab stuff if they want a Gold Digger thing, because I know they're going to go buy it on Etsy for way more anyway. So save them a little bit of money. I don't make a bunch of money from it, but you can. Hats, all that kind of stuff. Swag, the thing I want to mention though, I'm doing it inventory. Do you notice a theme here? I'm not spending any money on any of this stuff. That's why it's so lucrative. It's so profitable. That's what's great about information products too. So if you have a skill set that information wise that you can, like real estate, Dawn, I mean, you have experience in real estate. You could turn around and create a course to teach other realtors how to grow on social media. You can literally create an information product out of anything. I could do an information product on how to launch a swag shop. Totally could do that in a heartbeat. Maybe I should. Okay, so 14 is rentals. So when you get to a point financially where you are able to pay your bills, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, Dave Ramsey recommends being debt-free, saving 3 to 6 months in living expenses, funding a kids college savings, and then also your retirement. So there's percentages for all that. Our family, we follow the Money Makeover model. So he gives numbers for all of that. And then we're really lucky because Scott has a really, really amazing pension plan too. That's a very healthy. Texas has a very healthy surplus of funds. It's sort of mind blowing. Anyways, so when you get to a point where everything's taken care of and you're like, okay, now what? This is all Grant Cardone style though. He's like, you don't need to stockpile a bunch of money. He's like, it's just sitting there. It's a waste. So when you get to that point financially, the next stream of income that we have developed, we grabbed a place in New Mexico because we live in Texas, so the girls don't ever see snow. We both love skiing, so we thought that would be neat for our family. And then it's available for rent the rest of the year. We're using a firm that uses like Airbnb and stuff like that, so we don't have to manage it. They get a percentage, we get a percentage, and it's been really nice. Scott's like, oh my gosh, they're charging like $1 gazillion a night over the holidays, right? Because it's ski town. And so that's cool because we have a place for our family. It's pretty much paying for itself with the rentals, and that's just increasing our net worth as well. And the last one is online events. So I monetized it, but I've seen a lot of people doing a 21-day online social media summit where every day there's a new interview release. I'm actually recording one later today for someone else. This is my 4th or 5th one I've been asked to be a part of. I think someone is teaching this to people because they're all at once. A lot of people were like, will you be in my summit? Every day for 21 days, there's a new interview is being released via email for free. And then you can buy the whole summit if you want to. What I did is I did a summit where I had 12 speakers. I looked for people, my audience is female. So I did only female entrepreneurs, and my audience is, I think everybody there that day, almost everybody except for one gal, because what she taught was so specialized, are all moms. So my target audience is mompreneurs. I picked people who are up and coming, or just people who I already knew and had relationships with. I knew that we're going to offer a lot of value, and it was going to be very special and intimate, and it was awesome. But I did it online and I charged for it, and I charged a really reasonable rate for it so people could invest in it, get the value. I did it online and I did it all at once. It was a 6-hour live stream. I'm going to do it every year. I absolutely loved it. Got such great feedback from it. And we did digital swag. So everybody was able to contribute. So the nice thing about digital swag is it doesn't cost you anything. So I'm teaching you stuff that maybe you have never heard before. This is all business ideas. Okay. So I want to challenge you to start thinking like an entrepreneur and not a realtor or a network marketer and box yourself in. You are an entrepreneur. So some of the things that I choose to do is because I'm thinking like an entrepreneur and I'm thinking like an online marketer. If I do digital swag, it doesn't cost me anything, but it was $3,000 value because all the presenters contributed stuff they already had. That was their freebies. People could opt into their email list and now they're getting exposed to those people. And if those people love them, great. I mean, I have an abundant mindset. Otherwise they unsubscribe and they move on. But online summits, you can charge for those too, and you can monetize those. I like that format a lot better. I like it all at once. Let's do it. People could access the replay if they wanted to. We did timestamps so people knew what time people were going on. Otherwise, I've seen people do the 21 day and kind of drag it out a little bit, but I've seen lots of people doing it, so hopefully it's working for them. Okay, so I wanted to share my screen. I want to share with you something really cool that's happening. If you guys didn't know. Okay, I have a Create a Course boutique plus a 30-day Build a Course challenge. We tested this out with a coaching client of mine. She launched in 12 days and made $3,000. So she had a really easy evergreen course she created. It was awesome. She did such a great job. She'd never done it before. Teachable's free. We'll show you how to do the whole thing for free. Anyways, we're going to do, there's 5 modules, 3 bonus trainings. We're going to go through introduction, obviously. We're going to go through and get all your ideas. We're going to research. Basically, we need to figure out what the heck you're selling and who you're selling it to, right? That's like the $1 million question. Nobody freaking knows, and I'm going to help you with that. Module 3, solidify the course layout. So we're going to get your outline. I'm going to show you how to really get it organized and flesh it out. Create the course, obviously, and then pricing and promotion. Bonuses, testimonials. I'm going to go through all that with you. Basic email list building, and then how do you create evergreen content. And then there's another bonus in there. Oh, yay, another one. Thank you, Anna. Canva, beautiful graphics. If you look at our stuff, I mean, let me see if I can look at this. I mean, even this right here, I mean, she does such a good job. I'm teaching, and Anna's going to come in and co-teach the pieces. If you don't know who Anna Bearfield is, she's my operations director. So when you see me on camera and you're like, oh, look at Kimberly, she's everywhere. It's because Anna's in the back end making sure it all comes together. Like, seriously, she runs all of it. So she does the techie stuff for everything, Teachable and sales funnels and all these things. So she's going to go over the tech piece of Teachable and how to get that done. This is all in the course. So you get all of this, and it's $100 off right now for you guys. It's going to go up. Once we launch the 30-day challenge, it's going to go up. So you'll get the 30-day challenge, which is us live teaching in there every week and answering all your questions along the way. But the goal is you launch your thing in 30 days, or at least have it conceptualized, because you might not be able to launch. Maybe you have to wait till February or something, but everything's ready to go. You can just pull the trigger and start monetizing and making that money. And you can do $197 or 3 payments of $75. With the bonuses alone, it's $1,000, well over $1,000 per course. If you go in and get something else from other trainers out there, minimum you're looking at $2,000 to $5,000. So we're going to just do this low entry rate, $197 or 3 payments of $75. So look for the replay. I'll put that in there. Actually, I might have, oh, here's a link. I'll just drop it in here in case you guys want it. So the challenge is going to start on Monday. So if you want to do that with us, if you have an idea and you've just been hemming and hawing, you need to jump in and do this and just get it done. Make it happen. Like, I don't know about you, but I need deadlines for sure. So I'll put that in the replay as well. And we're going to do it together. I would love to stand with you side by side and do that. And last thing I want to mention, since I have you guys privately, I'm gonna be selecting 20 women to work with. It's my Opus, what's it called? Your Opus, whatever. What's it called? Like your Opus Landing? I don't know. The big thing, my Rolls Royce. I'm launching my Rolls Royce program January 15th, I think. It's gonna be a 6-month small group coaching program, 20 women. And I am going to literally teach you what I've done. It's called 6-Figure Breakthrough Business Academy. So it's going to be, it's going to be like you're in school, but more fun and laser focused. Every month, you're going to get a box in the mail with your course materials and your semester for the month. So there's 6 foundational pieces for your business. We want to get you to 6 figures, or if you're at 6 figures, we're going to scale it so you can grow and increase it to multiple 6 figures and beyond. But a lot of people don't know how they got to the 6 figures, so they're not duplicating it. So we're going to make sure you can scale it, grow it, streamline it so you're not working a million hours a week and burning yourself out. So it will be a customized roadmap for you. And I'm going to show you how I got to multiple 6 figures organically. So we're going to figure out step by step, what is your roadmap, and I'm going to be holding your hand the whole time. Every week I'll have group coaching calls. You'll get a 30-minute strategy session with me once a month. So I can say, let's look at it, boom, 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 do this, this, this. And then you'll also have an accountability coach. So have you ever done a program before where you registered for it, logged in, and after like a week, you just lost interest? This is not going to be like this at all. It'll be the opposite. Every week it's like, okay, this is what you had to get done this week. Okay, account of each. If you want your butt kicked, because a lot of us need that because we squirrel and we have so much going on and life happens, this is the program for you. If you're like, no, kick my butt, let's make it happen. I'm sick of talking about it. I want 2020 to be my year. I want it to be my financial breakthrough. I've tried so many programs. I've tried so many courses. Nothing has worked for me. I'm so sick and tired. I'm lost. I'm confused. I'm overwhelmed. Show me the way. That's what this is going to be. And the people participating in it, that are going to be helping me along the way are vetted by me and are at my level. So I'm only picking 20 because I want to pour into these people. This is all I'm going to be doing. You're not going to see me launching a bunch of stuff like I normally do, because I'm being called to level up and work with those that want to level up. So I just want to give you guys a little sneak peek. I won't be promoting it much at all until January. So if you guys want to know more about that, just private message me. All right, thanks for being on today. So good to see your faces. Until next time, go out there and crush your goals and create the life of your dreams. Bye-bye.